Hey, we back. We back again. Feel free to join in. We back. We back again. All right.
We're gonna let you have that, Bren'Tel.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get the levels right. Yeah.
You know, he the one with the flow.
Time. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's the I Can't Afford to Quit podcast. It's your boy Bren'Tel. I got Stephanie Celie X in the building. I have on the line the illustrious Melani J in the
And the crowd goes wild.
Yes.
Oh man, it's been what, like a week, two, something like that. Anyway, what have you all been up to?
I haven't been up to anything.
Nothing special.
She say the same thing.
She just not forthcoming with her events. It's cool.
Bren'Tel always try to wait till we go on air so he can try to get me to the point to where I start talking. We talk about other things. We can talk about, he always want to try to get me to, come out the whole shell. I'm still in my shell. I'm still in my shell, so let me be there. Let me be in that place, okay? Thank you.
Fair enough.
Okay. Yeah, but you're not going to stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Yeah. Take that. See?
I can't. It's too early in the podcast. It's too early in the episode.
See, that's him. Okay, go.
We not even 2 minutes in, y'all. 2 minutes in.
Oh man. I just been working, trying to create content.
You know me. I'm out here, trying to do this whole brand thing. Still doing stuff for my website. Got some stuff going. Everything's still moving. Everything's still flowing. Like I said, my husband, pray for him. He deployed today. So, yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
That's tough.
I'll see you in a year, baby. I will see you. Shout out to Jackie.
Yeah. I know that's. Oh wow.
Yeah, man. Stay safe, for real.
Yeah.
Shit. Especially going over there, like, damn. That's.
But damn, nigga, he ain't dead yet. He just left. Like,
no, I'm saying, like, I said, going over there to Korea. It's just damn.
It is. I mean, y'all just got real solemn on this.
I know. I know you like, damn, can I just want to make me feel bad?
Right. Yeah, it's like doing the episode and lift my spirit. But in all seriousness, though, it is dangerous with Trump, and everything going on with North Korea right now. So just keep them in prayer,
We will. We will.
Yeah.
Keep you in prayer, you and the boys.
Girl, for real. Shit.
I know.
But
girl, I know. Many nights with many bottles of wine, girl. Or hard liquor.
And many batteries. So
yes, girl. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Energizer Max. Those are the best ones. I know, girl. Yeah.
I don't want to have none of this moment. She was looking everywhere for them batteries.
Girl, she was going in the remote. Trying to get it out of the remote. Girl,
you know it's bad when you got to go to the smoke alarm.
Oh, my God, yeah. Or when you got to go to your kids' toys. Is this AAA or AA? Fuck.
Wow, this is a real thing.
Yeah, it is. You really do run out of batteries. You just figure like that little thing ain't gonna never run out.
Right, and a year's worth is a long time,
I know. Oh, girl, I'm really gonna pray for you in that area.
Please do.
I know.
We're gonna take up donations for batteries from Melani J. We're gonna send post a link in the show.
For real.
It's a love offering.
Love offering.
A special foundation for that.
Yes. Girl, I can imagine.
Oh man. Yeah. So I was telling Stephanie that speaking of foundations, that or you know what is it, fundraisers? That's what we're talking about. Yeah, fundraisers. I think we should all make a send us back to Africa GoFundMe
Oh,
Yes.
Lord.
and post it on like conservative websites.
Yeah.
You know what? I would be in agreement with y'all with that.
Why? Up here.
But the
I'm
way
just
my
saying we could,
movie is
but
set up, it's just not going because we're just so privileged here in America. Like they gotta walk to get water, and
but
we
no,
walk
see
our
what you
water
saying?
off. Like, I
No,
don't
see
even like my ice station fund.
No, see, what we can do is just take the money and use it as, for us to go on a vacation. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? Yeah,
let's do
vacation in
that.
Africa. What we could do, we
Okay,
could record a podcast
that.
there.
Yeah.
Do a live podcast.
Yeah, let's do that.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, you said move. It scared me a little.
No, see, they gonna say send us back. They gonna definitely gonna put all kind of money in it. So we
Yeah.
just take the money, take a vacation. You know.
Girl, yeah, we gonna take it there too. The description box, we gonna have a picture.
We just said send us to Africa,
Yeah.
but we said we really meant round trip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, round trip.
Right.
Round trip.
Yeah, we need to come back.
Yeah.
You
We definitely do.
I'm sorry.
I know.
But with the Las Vegas shooting, I'm pretty sure everybody heard about it. Stephen Paddock opened fire with automatic assault rifle from the Mandalay Bay Casino at a country concert, right? Country music festival. And he killed up to, let's see. Wow.
It was like 58,
Yeah.
59 people.
Yeah, it says 57 here, and then down here it went up to 58. So 58 people.
Okay.
This is see, this is where I feel like I have growth in myself. Growth opportunity.
I'm so proud of you.
Because like at first I was like, I'm gonna be full honest with y'all. At first I was like, it's country music, ain't no niggas out there. I don't really care. And then I doubled back, and I'm being 100% real. And me and Stephanie got to having a conversation, and I felt like it hit me like, damn, me feeling like that. That's equal to white people. What white people do when black people get killed by unarmed police officers, like, oh, it ain't none of my people. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing to do with that. I don't care. So I felt like, damn, me doing that, I ain't no better than what they doing. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to gauge how you all felt about that, train of thought and perspective.
You can go first.
Well,
yeah, you can go first.
Yeah.
I'm gonna allow you to take that. You can take that one. I'm a little bit more radical than Bren'Tel.
I'm going to be honest with you. The whole situation is very sad, and it's
Right.
very disturbing. But this isn't I just don't understand, as far as you saying, that and it could be taken that way. It could be taken like, oh, well, there's no black people out there. And they probably feel the same way when black people get killed, when it comes to police or black on black crime or whatever. But in this particular instance, if you look at all of the mass shootings within the last 10 years, it's done by the same race.
Yeah.
I mean, 1 out of 10 ain't bad. Like, I think we did the sniper shoot in Baltimore. I think he was black.
Yeah.
You remember that guy that was black or whatever?
It was him and his son that was
that's
doing
DC.
it.
DC
Yeah.
sniper.
That was the DC sniper.
Yeah, the DC. DC. Excuse me. Now, he was black, but all these other shootings and stuff like that, that's just senseless, are coming from the others.
The white people, the Caucasian people.
Well, yeah, the others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it because
when I So
when
when people say, do we? Personally, I didn't. I felt bad for the situation. People lost their lives senselessly, but did it affect our community?
No.
Yeah.
And
no.
I mean, they had the black guy that went out there and he saved like 30 people and he got shot. Bravo to him.
Okay.
But yeah,
I have real strong opinions on this matter
that's why I brought it up. That's what I want to talk about.
Because Bren'Tel, I already know. Oh, it was another shooting. Who was it done about? Oh, okay. Like, is that affecting? Like, is that going to change anything with African Americans? Is that going to change anything in my community that happening? Or is this just another distraction for something else that's going on in the world concerning black people or concerning people of color that they really that they really don't want you to notice? And it's just like, I think they want to push the gun law so much to have it to a point to where, only certain people can get it, only certain races can get it. Mm-hmm. And I think they're going to do that. I think that's just how it's going to be, but
I want to see how would they would have spin the story if it was a rap concert and if it was a black guy who sprayed bullets in the crowd. Would he have been, a thug? Would he have been, what would have happened?
Oh, they would have labeled it Black Lives Matter.
And they also would have just really ran it through. They would have ran it through the whole thing.
Look at Dallas, when the guy killed the police officers in Dallas. He had no affiliation with Black Lives Matter, but they tried to throw the Black Lives Matter label on the guy. Remember that? Mm-hmm. When they sent the bombs in to kill the guy?
Yeah, but they want Black Lives Matter to be like an extremist group.
Yeah, like they want to treat them like they're ISIS.
Yeah, they want to do that. They want to say that Black Lives Matter is a hate group.
But like me and Stephanie was just talking before we started recording, I let her know like what the news was trying to do with, because the guy has a Vietnamese girlfriend, so they're gonna place the blame on her, like she radicalized him and that's why he did such and such. Which this is a pattern. If you have a person of color that is, close to you or your significant other, they try to place the blame on that person, saying they radicalized the white guy or white person.
Right.
It's a pattern that's been happening over and over, and now it's to the point where we spot it. You know what I'm saying? Like I spot. I see the game they about to run.
And didn't they say that he was affiliated with one of those terrorist groups?
Yeah, one of Muslim extremists. I think it's called NAFTA or something like that, or NAFTA or something. It's so many, girl. It's so many. Mm-hmm. It's so many. Right. So it's like, every time, every time it's a mass shooting, they always they did the same thing with Orlando with the Pulse nightclub shooting. Wasn't he part of a Muslim extremist group or a terrorist group that we didn't even know of, and now we know everything about them? It's like they keep introducing new ones or existing ones.
Which I call bullshit on, because, like, at the end of the day, like, we have an agenda that we're trying to push. Exactly. We're trying to create friction actually change the public narrative of, public perception of Muslim people.
On propaganda.
In order to create fear, which the government, they control people by fear, and, pushing their agendas. So it's like, it fits the narrative of what the fuck they want to do. You know what I mean? And it's game. It's game, and it's repetitive, and it's see-through.
For all we know, the government could be setting all this stuff up.
Well, you already know 9/11 was a setup, so let's not talk about that. Mm-hmm. That also was a setup. It's just, even Sandy Hook. It goes all the way back to Sandy Hook. Sandy Hook.
Then, you know what? A lot of people are, like, saying now, like, well, it's ironic that, it's a country music concert, and now a lot of the quote-unquote conservatives are coming out, like, saying gun control.
Because I think that's what they really want to push it for.
But those are the most motherfuckers that support the NRA. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're the motherfuckers that need the guns, and you're going to have to pry the guns from my dead body. That's
or the ones that's
conservative.
investing in that, in NRA.
So it's ironic. Like, okay, so is this a back agenda that they all have came to agreement on, you know, in the media?
Of course it is.
So it's just like, it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's ironic that it happened at a country music concert.
Yeah. Just to wake them up. Because a rap concert, they would have been like, oh, okay. All right.
That makes sense.
Black people are violent anyway, so of course it was going to be.
They were going to start shooting after the festival.
Of course it was going to be guns there. Of course it was going to be drugs there. Of course it was going to be, you know, a lot of hostility, rage, all that, you know, all that they characterize with black people anyway. And if they would have shot 100 of us, you get what I'm saying? It wouldn't have been no funds or no, you know, celebrities getting together to raise funds for, you know, all that stuff they did for Pulse, all what they about to do for this. They wouldn't have did that if 100 black people would have got shot at a rap concert.
Exactly.
They wouldn't have done that.
No memorial
girl, yeah, and the shooter, girl, please. They would have gave a story on, like, what, CNN?
He was a well-decorated...
Yeah, with that whack-ass music in the background. With that one little one press on the keyboard. Ding! And then the man come in talking about, oh, he had a disturbed childhood. He was raised around poverty and violence. He never knew who his father was. You know what I'm saying?
It's the whole backstory. The bad part about this is, just like any other tragedy, in a week, ain't nobody going to be talking about it. There'll be something else.
No.
Next,
a celebrity going to do something stupid.
Yep. Next week it'll be up in other news.
Yeah.
Right? Unfortunately, that's just how the cookie crumbles. You know, like you said, certain things are set up in certain ways to distract you from other things that are going on.
And then they always do the domino effect. Like, one grand thing can start a domino effect on many things. So that's what they do. But me and Bren'Tel also was having a conversation where, you know, how do you prepare your children for the society that we live in? Like, how do you prepare them mentally?
Great segue.
Like, how do you do that?
Being black children.
Being black in America. The importance of being black in America.
You know what? There's starting to be a lot of uproar about that, and even you know, there's commercials and stuff now too that are starting to promote more of, you know, black awareness in children, and, you know, the "You Are Beautiful" commercials, "You Are Special" commercials.
Procter and Gamble.
How are you going to get home, you know, safely and stuff? And I was like, wow, you know, we at least somebody is trying to make an effort.
Yeah, and I think that's amazing. I do. But, you know, even with all of that, you still, like, even with me, like, how the world is going now, how everything is shifting, how they're doing this, and, you know, how us as black people are really, really being portrayed. It's like we being portrayed in a negative light and also in a positive light. Like, every time we excel, like, it's like now more than ever that you see a lot of black shows on television. Everything is like black this, black that. So
yeah, because now it's that what was it, 1932? Is that Black Wall Street?
The Renaissance. That we just had a conversation. I said with Trump, you know, because I hate to let y'all know, people. There is no reason, unless Barack Obama picks the next Democratic candidate, but he's going to win again. And it's going to be a landslide. So this 8 years is going to create a situation where black art is going to be so fucking good because of the oppression and things that we're going to go through. And it's going to be so good. TV shows going to be good. Movies going to be so good. And now with, you know, the tool of the internet, it's going to be more unfiltered, just raw black perspective out there, and it's going to be good. These next 8 years, hopefully just 4, but, you know, I put money on 8, but it's going to be good. And, you know, time after that, because it's still going to be like a roll-off of how much he fucked up. Because even with George Bush, you know what I'm saying? We still fixing shit from him. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
still makes you think about, like, you know, what if we never went through segregation? You know, like,
Yeah.
do you ever think about that? Like,
I always think about that. I just think,
you know,
yeah.
Like, what you
we have
mean?
been
What you
better
mean
off-
by that? Like,
would we have been better off as a people just
oh,
not being
of course.
integrated?
Of course.
You know,
Of course. Of course. I
not
think,
not
And
even
why?
being integrated,
Why
but
though? It would have forced us to practice group economics.
yes.
That's how other ethnicities or other races are able to control what happens to them because they can play politicians off. They can buy TV networks. They can buy, mass media. They can do all that. We can't do that.
yeah, but I think like you said, and now black TV shows, you see more. You know, I think it's starting to have that effect on black people. Like, we're starting to invest in our own businesses, in our own brands, in our own restaurants, and just everything is starting to
We're starting
take
to
form.
fully practice group
Yeah.
economics.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that, none of that would have happened if Trump didn't get in office.
Yeah.
But this has been happening the last 8 years because of Obama. He pushed in initiatives, that make it easier for black people to start businesses. It wasn't a widely publicized thing, but he put shit in there. Like that,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, he put policies in there that help and make it easier for black people, or that are
I'm
initiatives
saying
for black people.
I'm just saying because
Now
I
it's
hate-
like, oh yeah, it's
there's
go
so
time
many
now.
people that hate Trump. That's like, you know what? I'm gonna prove. We got to stick together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We got to stick together. It's to that point now where it's just like, I'm anti-Trump, so.
Yeah.
Let me go over here and buy this soda from the black man's store.
Yeah.
Cause I know if I go buy it over at the other store, that's the same motherfucker that's calling me a nigga in his head as I'm paying for the pop that from his.
And
business.
I think that objective is good for black people in some ways.
Here, check this out. Were you with you talking about segregation? There's a positive in what Trump being the president does, right? This is a theory that I came up with. Well, I've been thinking of. Okay. There's no room for neutrality anymore.
Yeah.
You got to pick a side, right? Because no action is an action. So, like, we look at it like, oh, you didn't say nothing about this? Boom, you with them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
It's easy to spot out who's who now. And being up here in the North, that's something that needed to be publicized and needed to be, out in the open. There need to be clarity on who the fuck is who. Because, like, there's a difference between living down south, because I lived down south for a while, and living up north. You could be cool with white people. They be, hey buddy, how you doing, all that, and be racist and shit. Which, with Melani J, you had a story, you know what I'm saying, that you talked about on the podcast. So it's like, now there's no neutrality. Like, you got to pick a side. You can't play both sides of the fence no more.
Yeah, or we gonna hit that black delegation on you. The black delegation.
No, white people. White people, fam. They you gotta pick a side. There's no, like, you can't opt out anymore. Because if you opt out, there's no cover for you anymore.
Oh, well, I get what you're saying now.
You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
And it could be just like catchphrases that you catch too.
Yeah. It's
where
just,
you just like, you want to,
Yeah, you coming out.
oh, give him a chance. Okay. Yeah. Boom. You know what I mean? Like, you right over there.
Yeah, you in the coon bucket with the rest of
them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's so easy. It's easier to spot out now. And, like,
It truly is.
And that's a positive. That's the positive that I took from Trump. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes navigating, this country as a black person a little bit easier in your workspace. You know what I'm saying? Though they may be emboldened to do racist shit, but you know who the fuck they are now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It makes it easier to spot out racists, I should say. Not easier, but you know what I mean?
Well, I mean...
Well, did you guys catch the press conference that he did?
Yeah, and you talking about Puerto Rico? What a fucking mess.
I'm sitting there looking like, what am I watching?
Exactly. Like, who does that? Who talks like so unpresidential?
Right, and who compares deaths and makes it seem like one death?
Katrina had more. Like, nigga, what? We right here, right now. Nigga, that was like 13 years. What did you talk about?
Like, even when he said that, girl, I changed the channel. Like, you, what is that?
And when people lose everything, they don't want to hear about how much your country is in debt. They don't. If I don't have anything, I lost my house, I lost everything that I owned. I don't want to sit there and hear your fucking mouth talking about we're really going into debt because of y'all, or whatever that statement.
I'm gonna make y'all really breaking our bank or something like that. Like,
yeah,
what?
he said something.
Like, I can't do it. It's like they don't even have a speechwriter for him. Like, get him a speechwriter. Get him a speechwriter. Like, help him out. It's like he gets up there and he just freestyle. Like, they gave him a sheet of paper to say some pinpoints, got some bullet points on a piece of paper, and tell him this is what you say.
1, 2, 1.
Yeah, that's how he talks at that press conference. And I'm like, I could not. I'm like, I got to turn this.
Who? Okay.
I have never seen any president that does not have any humility for anyone.
No.
Like, it's everything is about business with him. When it comes with, when it comes to money, that's it.
Because,
oh man, you guys lost like 15 or 17 people, right? Oh, well, that's nothing compared to Katrina. I'm like, why would you say that to somebody? Because I know something. I don't care if one of my family members happened to be that 16 or 17 and you would have wrote them off with that sentence, I would have had to hop over that table on your ass.
Yeah.
Who does that? Who sits there and says, oh, you only lost 16 people. Oh, that's good. And this, and this was a great trip. Nigga, you're not going to the golf. You're not going on vacation.
A great trip.
This is a great trip, you guys.
Listen,
a great trip.
Why we have to say this is, you gotta think about, this man has been rich his whole fucking life. He doesn't know what it's like to have nothing. He doesn't know what it's like to actually have to, to live check to check. He doesn't understand that. So he's not going to have humility. He's not going to understand the perspective of people who are not in the top 1%. So that's what the fuck. That's what we witness when we hear his whatever. Is it talking? Well, I don't know what we call it.
His gibberish.
I don't care.
White peopling.
I don't know what the fuck he does, but when he's up there, when he's behind the mic, yes. So that's what we witness every time he speaks.
Ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
Ignorant. It's like, oh God, it makes you unsettled. It makes me unsettled. It's like,
it does. And then he's out there alley-ooping paper towels. Like,
yeah, what was that? I didn't even care to watch it. I just seen him. I was like, they show pictures of like other presidents and
I can't.
Like,
oh my God,
they're hugging people, you know what I mean? Like they're, consoling,
like,
talking to people like, oh, you lost this, we're gonna take care of you, we're gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like trying to create some sense of hope. None. This nigga's out here football passing, paper towels.
Yeah,
across the room.
He just bothers me. And he just be so cool. Like, the fuck? Like, yeah. Thanks for everybody coming out. Like, what the fuck?
Right. We had a big turnout.
Like, this is not practice, nigga. This is not baseball practice. You a whole president. But that's what happens when you put a businessman in office and not a real politician. That's when you put somebody who has enough money, who has enough ties, who has enough power. Because now in day and age, money is power. Mm-hmm. It is control.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, if you got enough of it, he bought his way into that. He bought, all those elitists, all those people. It's just... That's the product that you get. That's the product that you get.
Like I said, I don't think he's going to make it out this presidency, y'all.
You don't think so? I feel like he's going to make it. I feel like he's too aligned with white supremacy for him not to make it the whole 8 years. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a new law like saying, "Oh, you can make it 12 years now." You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised because he is, fulfilling white supremacists' wishes.
But you know what? Yeah. I mean, even if just hypothetically speaking, but hypothetically speaking, if he did get assassinated or, God forbid, anything,
he gonna get impeached before assassinated.
Yeah.
But that nigga Teflon, he had a fucking, for real, like he had a fucking law, like a civil suit or something about child molestation right before he got elected.
See?
You know what I'm saying? Like, and he walked right into the fucking White House. Nigga, if he would have been anybody else, they would have been like, fuck, no, you're not coming in the White House. Ever, nigga. Like, don't ever try to visit. Don't call. Don't send an email. None of that shit.
Yeah.
Well, they know that he's gonna, like you said, they know that he's for them.
Yeah, so that's why I feel like, he could, if he don't get impeached, he going for that full 8, dog.
I want to, okay.
But to bring it back around for importance of preparing your children,
yes,
your black children, and living in, for the America that we live in. I didn't get to say what I wanted to say.
I mean,
so I'm going to say what I wanted to say.
Okay, well, go ahead.
Well, he done cleared his throat.
Yeah, girl, he done cleared it.
Y'all.
I think the importance of it is, you preparing your child that's a life or death teaching. That could have your child make it through and navigate, or fall victim to the obstacles that have been placed for black people.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, like, how to interact with the police, how to interact with racism, how to spot it, and how to deal with it, and how to outsmart, your oppressors. That's imperative that every black child, even if they mix race or black, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Any black person in America, they need that teaching. Because it don't matter how rich you are, where you live, you're going to need to know every bit of that information to navigate this America properly and efficiently.
That's the absolute truth.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that can be taken away from that.
Yeah.
The only problem that I see when it comes to trying to prepare your children, especially, children of African American descent, is situations that happen like Columbine, situations that happen like Vegas, situations that happen. Some things are just out of our control.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There's nothing that would be. I could teach my son how to speak properly, how to talk properly, how to do everything to try to make it home. But if a person is spraying bullets don't have a name
at all.
So what we need to be trying to do as a community is come up with some type of something to figure out when something does happen like that, what would be the best approach? How could you get out of a situation like that?
Okay.
Safely. Like, how could you get out of a situation like that safely?
Yeah.
If there's, a mass shooting, if somebody's like in the mall and just shooting, how, is there an exit that are you supposed to just lay still? Well, like, what do you do? What do you do in
almost like damn near fire training, like fire drill training, like chaos.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And don't you think that's a lot?
They should teach our kids that.
Yeah,
at school or something. Like, what if somebody comes in there and starts shooting or something? The kids need to know what to do.
Yeah.
To have a chance to make it out.
Yeah, but that's also sad that you have to do that. Like, I don't know. I remember, like, even as a child, you being prepared for different things. Like, your parents preparing you for different things that are good. in your life. Like, you do this, you go to college, you become successful. Now you have to, teach your kids, well, when you're driving, make sure you have your ID. Make sure if you get pulled over, you obey, you stay polite. You have to teach them
Keep
so
your hands
much.
on the wheel.
Or let them know I'm showing you my hands. It's so much that you have to teach them so much just to protect themselves.
It's survival tactics.
Yes, and it's like that's what we have gotten down to, and it's hard enough here even trying to teach my child. No, 7 plus this is not this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like to have to teach them how to. This is what happens in case of this, or this is what happened when you're put in this situation, or if you get in an interrogation room. It's just like preparing them for survival. Like, that's not living. It's just like, oh God, my child is black.
Right.
It's just it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot mentally, and it can affect your health mentally. Yeah.
And then, of course, just with life in general, life happens. I mean, we're all pretty much from the same place. And, just to touch up real quick, some hometown news, I'm sure you guys heard the 2 little boys that one of them got shot and killed.
Mm-hmm.
And that was sad because, you just don't know how a situation is going to play out.
Yeah.
And how can you prepare your kids for that,
Yeah.
How can you prepare your kids for that? I wouldn't have been able to tell my son, well, if you get in an argument with one of your friends, he'll shoot you and kill you. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so many different things that could happen that you just can't. It's hard to prepare for. That's what I'm saying. That's my point.
Right. I can't prepare for everything.
I know.
Yeah,
I know. Because things are unexpected in his life. So,
Yeah, it's just life. And it's just, you guys, it's tough.
I know. It's a mental thing. It's mental.
It is.
It affects you mentally. It affects your health.
It does. It makes you want to just lock your kids up and say, y'all ain't going no motherfucking where.
I know. I want to change hell, I want them to stay little, like how they are now.
Yeah. It's like I don't even want you guys to go to, no, you're getting homeschooled, Yeah. That's what you want to do.
That's what I want to do.
We know we can't. Yeah, but we can't do that because that's not going to teach them anything either. It's not going to be good for social life. It's not going to be good for, you have to be around people in order to know how the world works.
Yeah, you do. You do. But even then, sometimes they can be overwhelming. Even then. I know, even then it can be overwhelming.
It is.
It is mentally.
What do you think, Bren'Tel?
Excuse me?
I said, what are your thoughts on that?
I said what I needed to say about the importance of everything. I'm just letting y'all go.
What I said. He said, I said what I said.
Yeah, he got the Nene Leakes on. I said what I said.
I said what I said.
I said it. I said it. Oh, so me and Bren'Tel was also having another conversation about...
Speaking of mental health.
Yes, of mental health. Because all of this is connected.
You guys would have been so proud of me. I took notes and everything.
Girl, I did too. I actually used the pen this time. I'm so proud of myself. Because it's usually Bren'Tel. But I was like, okay, I'm going to be a big girl this time. And really, put in the work. I'll put in the work. Because, mental health is really, really big with me. It is. Because when I was growing up, my mother was a caseworker for the Department of Human Services in Chicago. So, back in the late 80s, early 90s, it's not like how it is now. It's like you actually had to go to people's houses. And some of the cases, like when my mother, when the Department of Human Services teamed up with DCFS, that whole thing, that really changed my mother. Because it was so much going on in the households. So much going on. It was so mental health, the issues that was going on, because it was this one girl, a teenage mother, and her daughter her daughter wouldn't stop crying. Like my mother used to tell us all these stories. She didn't tell us then because when she was actually doing it, we were very young. But when we got older,
Right.
you know, it really, really messed my mother up mentally to see that because she was a parent. And to see those kids get treated the way they got treated. This one boy, when his father would tie a rope around his neck, he was 2 years old, tied a rope around his neck in the closet and beat him and leave him in the closet for days. No food, no water. And he was 2 years old. 2 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So those cases like that. And there was this one girl, she had some mental health issues and she didn't want to hear her baby crying anymore. So she heated up some grease and fried her baby feet.
What the fuck?
Oh my goodness.
Yes. 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 Those cases disturbed my mother so much. Ugh. My mother had to take a break. She had to take a leave.
I know she did.
Yeah, that was a lot. Cause I'm the youngest of 5, so having 5 daughters, and you coming home to your children and I actually see photos and I actually see the parents and I actually see the children because you know they have to interview the children too. That was just a lot for my mother.
Did she eat the feet or like was
No.
she trying it?
No, she said that they said
I'm
that the girl. You know what?
All right.
Did she eat the feet? Did she?
I just wanted to make.
Did she use hot sauce? Is that what she said?
Did she use seasoning?
Did she have Cajun sparkle? Is that what? This nigga ain't shit, man. She really ain't shit.
Okay. I'm
Girl,
sorry.
I can't with you. I cannot with you.
I
know.
You never know. Like, might have wanted some hot sauce.
I mean, it is dark meat. I can't.
I don't know.
Chill, stop. We try to be serious. We can't even be serious.
Did you get a biscuit with it? That's what we want to know.
Oh God.
I'm sorry. Because she said she fried it. I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Black people will fry anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put some hot sauce on.
But anyway, go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but you know that was a lot for my mother, and they had to remove her from that. That force. It was like a task force because it was a really really big spike in mental health and mental illness issues.
Okay, around what time was that? Was that in the 90s? Like early 90s, late 80s?
That's when crack hit the streets.
That's exactly
That's when crack cocaine hit the
asked.
streets. That's when it hit the streets, and it was like a domino effect. It was a domino effect. It was a spike in those. The spike in the drugs. Well, how crack cocaine just really took over everything. How it destroyed it. People had already had mental health issues, but here's another way to deal with what's going on with me.
Right.
So that had a domino effect of if I'm on crack cocaine, I need that habit. I have to have that habit. So what you gonna do? You're gonna sell your body. You're gonna rob people. You're just gonna do a lot of violent acts to get that high. So and all that in sense is mental health, and that's another thing. Like a lot of people don't talk about in the African American community that the numbers for mental health are ridiculously high. It's really, really high. Yeah. Especially in major cities. It is.
Yeah, the major cities are the worst. But I did do the study, like you guys asked me to. I know, right? I just feel so, smart and everything.
I know, I did too, girl.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay. Well, you go ahead.
Oh, no, I want you to do it. I want Bren'Tel to be proud of the both of us. Because, Bren'Tel really do most of the research. Girl, he got to bend his glasses down. The Randy Jackson specials, girl. He got the Randy Jackson glasses out.
Don't air.
So, girl, when he tilts them down, girl, he really got something going on. He really looking at something.
There's different status of mental health in the African American community, and especially with older people as well, because Alzheimer's that's a whole different status of mental health.
Yes,
but the national and that's high in African American communities as well. But the National Alliance of Mental Illness on mental illness says that basically when it comes to African American people, that we suffer in silence because African American people back in the slavery days, if they showed any signs or anything of mental illness, then they were killed immediately.
Wow.
So yeah, they were killed immediately. So it has to do with, of course, slavery, which that's with everything when it comes to African Americans.
That's huge.
But Black, it does. Blacks mostly rely on faith or family or the social communities for emotional support rather than medical or health care professionals. So it says that 13.2% of the United States is Black. Out of those 13.2%, 16% of that are people who have substance abuse problems, incarcerated or impoverished. Those are the type of people that are at higher risk for mental health. So,
yeah, and that equals up to 6.8 million, which is more than the population of Chicago, Houston, and Philadelphia.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
Combined.
And they said that racism plays a major part with mental health.
Yep.
Just the stigma of racism plays a major part with mental health. And
I read a part.
Who likes to be called crazy? Nobody.
Right. Right. I read that even with like reaching out to get treatment, there's racism in that you have to deal with, like where if you have a white therapist, they'll hit you, they'll gaslight you and saying like, oh, you're just being too sensitive. That's why they say it's important to have the right therapist, which to me sounds like a Black therapist that knows your struggle and can identify with it. They said that's a major part in why Black people steer away from actually reaching out to get treatment. Because once they get there and they experience that, then that deters them from actually going out.
Yeah, but I think of it in a different aspect because, when you talk about therapy or actually seeking counseling or trying to, find solutions to, get better mentally, you try to tell a Black person, some Black people, no, I ain't crazy.
You need to pray.
They identify a counseling or therapy with you really having something.
But that comes back to what she just said with slavery. That shit is all trickled down. Like that's a secondary, effect of what you've been taught. Like, I'm good. Ain't nothing wrong with me.
I got my Jesus. Like I can pray.
Like,
right.
Like you're scared to say anything about it. Like it's ingrained in you not to say anything. Because,
it's been passed down.
My gosh, am I going to get in trouble for this? Am I going to get killed for this?
It's not even trouble anymore. It's that was a negative stigma. And now we don't have the actual reason of they're not going to kill me, but my grandparents said no. Their grandparents said no, don't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Suffer in silence. And that's just trickled down.
I think that's even more than just with mental health, though, because I think that trickles down to other things in the African American community as well. Hold on, I'm sorry.
Well,
what you think?
I don't know. I'm really big on the whole. You need to seek some help.
Yeah, that trickles down as well because it has to do with child molestation, rape.
Yeah.
I mean, those are silent killers that African Americans would rather not talk about.
And they also cause, levels of mental illness issues as well, like having that happen to you.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you got that suffer in silence about, what's happening to you and the results of what has happened to you. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then say you have children, you have, and you haven't dealt with those issues within yourself. You haven't resolved those. So now that passes down. You know what I'm saying? You doing fucked up shit to your children and not even knowing why you talking to them the way you talking to them or treating them the way you treating them. So, you know what I'm saying? Right. It's just a traditional thing that's being passed down.
And there needs to be classes for that. They need to have classes on everything. The whole black community needs a whole restructure of everything. We have to reframe our whole entire minds. Mm-hmm. Everybody does, because when you have a traumatic childhood, you grow up and you try to have connections and relationships with people, and they are going to continuously fail.
Right.
You have this projection of the person who you want to be with, but it's just in your mind, you believe ain't nothing wrong with you. You believe you all right. Okay, yeah, you done been through a lot, but when you get in a relationship with another individual, try to connect with them, you can't do that, because like mental health issues also have things that's with your emotions as well. That attaches you as a person. Are you really? You don't even love yourself because now you have so much shame. Mental health causes shame, and it's like a web. It's like a big ass web. It's like mental health is in the middle,
and it causes all these.
It causes all of these things. It causes all of these things, and that's just, I don't know. That's just messed up. I mean, I done had mental illness over these stupid ass niggas. Loving these niggas. Girl, loving these niggas. I'm talking about I had a whole red nose on.
Oh, Lord.
Clowning for these it-ass niggas, Pennywise.
Oh,
girl.
Lord. Oh, did you do the 40D challenge a couple
girl,
times?
Girl, I ain't doing shit for the dick. I ain't doing none of that. No, if it ain't my dick, girl, it's community dick. It's 2017. Girl, please. These niggas don't play fair. Why should I? Let me stop. I said I was not going to bring her out today. I said I wasn't going to bring her out, Jay. I said I wasn't going to bring her out. Girl.
Well.
I mean, she out now. Girl, please. Being in love with these nothing ass. Oh, I love you to death. No, I was loving the D. That's what it was. Girl, you know that D? The good that you get, girl, puts you to sleep, girl. You be asleep.
But you know what? It don't even, it's necessarily just be the D sometimes. It just be the company. You know, because some bitches just lonely. You know.
I know.
She lonely.
I know.
Like, the dick don't even be good, but,
it's like you around.
Whatever.
You around. You a man.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I've been there before. I've been through that whole lonely phase where it's like, okay, you just here because I want you here, nigga. I don't love these hoes, but
women too.
Yeah.
I wonder if they do. No, I'm serious. Like, I wonder if some men would suffer as much mental illness over relationships as women do.
Girl, they never. Know what?
No, men do. We just do it in a different way. And it's a prolonged effect. Like, y'all get it like boom right after.
They have delayed. It should be
delayed like a motherfucker.
It be delayed.
And it be way more aggressive. Like, that nigga wrapped himself around a tree in a car accident. You know what I mean? Over stupid shit like that. Like, stupid shit. You know what I mean?
I come to learn in my relationship.
He done held the girl at gunpoint? What the fuck?
Yeah, but in my relationship.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
For real. when dudes fall out the deep end, they really fall out the deep end.
Oh, wow.
That's why motherfuckers be on some like, I don't love these, because you scared. You scared of what happened to you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Ooh, girl.
So what can we do? Like, what can we do as a black people, as a whole, to help with mental illness and to better the relationship?
Raise awareness. There needs to be a mental health awareness, to commonize it in the black community, to where it's not a taboo thing. And,
right.
And the only way we can do that is to commonize it. And okay, I went and talked to the therapist. This shit happened. You know what I'm saying? It worked out for me, man. You stupid. Boom, word of mouth, and gradually it would change the perspective of getting help, therapy, and whatnot.
People are so shameful, though, that they don't even want to.
It would take the shame away from it.
But I think, because I'm real artistic, girl. I'm like Erykah Badu, incense, high spiritual sage and shit.
Artistic.
No, artistic, girl. No.
I was like, oh, that's.
I think
She said, "Oh, that's different."
That's what I thought.
Okay, I'm about to pause you. Stop, because I'm not trying to have to edit nothing. Go ahead.
No, I think that if you want to raise awareness about something, you have to be incredibly visual with it. You have to share stories of similarity of mental illness so people won't be shameful. Like, it's really something wrong with me. It's more better for you to be relaxed and be more comfortable with talking about what has happened to you or what's going on with you when you have somebody relatable. When you have someone you can identify better with that. And I think that needs to be done on a visual platform with black people. I think it needs to be a series or a play or a movie that really, really hits on mental illness. You know, something recurring just to let people know, like, we know it's really something going on with you. Ain't
nothing wrong with you that you have. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I think Empire
it's okay to not be okay.
Didn't it?
Yeah.
Didn't Empire hit on that a couple of
when Andre had the bipolar disorder?
Yeah,
but I mean,
they brought it to the attention, you know.
Yeah, but I think it needs to be a
whole show about this shit, like This Is Us, about the whole just a whole shit, a whole breakdown of mental health is from the black perspective.
Yeah, completely. I mean, all black writers, everything black. You know, to just tell tales of situations and stories concerning, you know, the breakdown and the recurring cycle of mental illness and mental
the history
health
behind it.
And the real history behind it. I think that needs to be, you know, identified. It does, but I mean, it's 2017, so you know, you never know which way that'll swing. But it's so many things that's being overshadowed, and that's really, really messing up. Because coming from Chicago and being in the neighborhoods I was in and being raised, it was a different contrast from when I was 8. So like now I'm 32. So it's like to see how children behave, to see how young mothers treat their children, it's just horrible. Is your phone back?
Hello? Oh, we lost her. Let me call her back. Her phone must have died.
I probably did.
But go ahead. What you were saying?
I mean, to see that it's disheartening. Mm-hmm. To see how they treat their children, how it's no connection with their kids, and when they see the babies hollering, they go crazy.
Right.
They curse the babies out. It's depressing to see that's that cycle. It's messed up.
We lost Melani J.
So sad.
I know. We're gonna get you back. So, to save time, I think we should wrap up.
Yeah. Because
if we do this next segment topic, we're gonna be on for another hour.
Yes, we are.
So we're running short on time. So we shall wrap it up. You need to get back on Twitter. My Twitter is at Bren'Telligence. Email us at Icantaffordtoquit at Gmail if you want to, give some type of response to what we were talking about today. If you have other information, it's well needed. It's well receptive. So email us about that. Oh, shoot. Good. Perfect. Hello?
Lost all connection on my phone.
Oh, it's cool. We just gonna wrap it up because we got another the other topic. We gonna be on the phone for another hour talking about that. So
I'm gonna let you know what we were gonna talk about.
No. We're gonna save that. Right. We're gonna save that for next time.
Okay, he said we're gonna save it.
Yeah, we'll save that. We might open the show up. Yeah. Put your Twitter out there.
My Twitter?
Yeah.
It's Melani J.
Yes, at Melani J. Again, Stephanie doesn't have one because she is eccentric and she don't want. to have, connection with people. It's cool.
Bren'Tel had to be super extra. Bren'Tel already know I got people looking for me, Joe. I got real life people looking for me. Like, when I moved down here to Fremont, my friends was like, are you a part of the witness protection? Like, where are you? Because I sent her.
You got warrants?
Yeah, girl, yeah. Girl, for you kicking niggas' doors in, girl. I wasn't never playing no game. Nigga, I'm dressing all black. Nigga. I'm a ninja. I'm coming in there. I'm putting one right between the eyes, nigga. What you got in your refrigerator? I ain't playing no game. Girl, I know. I'm low key, not all together. Girl, I'm just not for none. I got 3 kids. I'm single. I got to protect myself.
We're gonna put that out there.
Yeah, I am.
We gonna hook Stephanie up with somebody, Bren'Tel.
Because Bren'Tel, I'm crazy. I just it's a lot to handle me. Girl, you have to have on the whole full armor, girl. You have to have on the breastplate of righteousness to be fucking with me, because I will take it all the way there.
Oh my God.
Because I know I'm fine. And it's, it's just nothing,
This nigga,
I can't take it there.
Look, all right, we're going, until next episode. Oh man. Hey. Podcast every day.